What is up, everybody? This is Goodman. I'm signing back on for another video. Look at the new snapback hats that we have. You can order them at Nowhere because they're my snapback hats and you can't have them. But let's go through it. Where is it? Oh yeah, got the American flag. Got the In Goodman We Trust with the nice little font. I won't tell you what kind of font it is, but it's my favorite font now. But yeah, I just picked these up from Moose Prints, my buddy over there that prints a bunch of hats, a bunch of shirts, a bunch of everything. So anyway, got this and then also printed some shirts for Beach Brawl this weekend for some friends of mine. So anyway, like I said, these are totally available at Nowhere and you can't buy them, but you could stitch them yourself if you really wanted to. Anyway, we are gonna go through this next video, which is pretty much the final, like right before we're gonna do a Section 8 inspection. So on this one, I go through and do a little bit of things here and there. And then the big thing is that we, me and Mahmood, are going to polyurethane the floor. So in these houses now, remember, I went and bought that big sander, the orbital sander, just so I'd have it. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to just poly the floors. Now you might be like, why don't you stain them? Why didn't you whatever? Okay, I don't want to stain because the process of staining is like just another like 2 or 3 days, right, of doing this kind of stuff. And I don't want to do that. I want to get done with this house and I want to move on. So my thing is the floors, in my opinion, look actually pretty nice when you just give them a nice scuff or a nice sanding, and then you go ahead and you just put polyurethane on it. That again is my taste. I don't really care the taste of others because who cares what you guys want or what anyone else wants. This is my house. I'm the one renting it out. So yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Every video just pretty much starts out with me showing off the firepower, and then look at Mahmood, no beard. Nowadays he has one, so it's kind of weird to see this. Such a young child, you know? He told me that he could not get this, right now this is me yelling at him and screaming at him because he's like, I can't get the brush on the other end of the pole. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so easy, but it actually wasn't. So I guess I was pretty mean. Tam just came through here and mopped everything up so that we are ready to actually get this thing going. And then there's some things on there it is. So like I asked Roberto to fix this, and of course he didn't do that. So now I'm just coming in with some screws just to get this door where it's nice, ready to go. And then I'm making sure that all the fans and stuff are on in all the rooms so we have airflow throughout all the rooms. That's a big thing when you're doing this. You want to make sure that, because we're going to try to do this in one fell swoop. So we're trying to make it where pretty much after, sorry, I'm trying to get a charger here for my camera. But after we get the polyurethane down, we want to make sure that we start having like airflow going so we can come back in same day and get another coat. Because the point is with this, I think it's supposed to be like 2 hours, 2 hours to actually get it where it's completely dry or dry enough for you to put a second coat on. And the good thing about this stuff, I would normally go with the water-based, but with this, you don't have to sand between coats. You can just put a coat on, put another coat on, and you're done. And this is the like Stain Master or something like that, oil-based. So that is what I use for these houses now. It is horrifyingly odorous and was it solventy. I have done one house where I did not wear a respirator, and I went in that house and my eyes were like watering the whole time. I could barely breathe, but I was like, I gotta finish this thing. I gotta get it done, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, it did not go well for me. And by what I mean by that, obviously, is it was very bad. And I should have been wearing a respirator that whole time, which is really stupid. Now, of course, I carry a respirator around with me everywhere I go because we've had that pneumonia scare from not wearing respirators. We have Mahmood here trying to make the old stuff work, which all he had to do is take out that film and throw it away and then stir it. But instead, you know, he just does this thing where he doesn't do anything right, which is fine. This is the old stuff. It's not bad per se, but he's really just got to get that film out. But of course, he just, instead of pulling the film out, he did what he did. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're just going to use the new one. Not that big a deal. These are about, I think they're like 60 or 70 bucks for or no, 120 for 2 gallons. I think 120 for 2 gallons. Usually 2 gallons will get these houses done for me, and I'll have a little bit left over, not a whole lot. So you just kind of have to be, you don't have to be too conservative with it, but you know, it helps to not waste too much. Okay, so we're starting out, and this is me teaching Mahmoud how to do this for the first time. He's never done it before, and this is how easy it can be, because Mahmoud, I mean, in all seriousness, is one of the worst people when it comes to teaching something new. Like, he cannot grasp any concept whatsoever of doing a new task, especially something. I mean, it's something as simple as this. But now he's got it down, and we've done it. I think we've only done it on maybe 2-3 houses, whatever, and it has gone a lot better with him, which I like. I'm very happy with that. And yeah, as you can see, I'm like having to show him like how to do this and like manhandling it. It's very ridiculous. But again, after a little bit, he understands. It's really getting the way the brush, because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll lean it way back, and so you're only using like a quarter of the brush. We need to be straight up, so you're using the whole entire brush. So anyway, first coat, I usually go with a really thin coat just so it will dry a lot faster, which is nice. Then come back with a heavy coat at the end, so you don't have to worry about, like, you know, so you'll have it be super shiny. I mean, you're gonna see, like, you see how these floors look, and when they're done, they look like this. Like, they don't, like, the shininess doesn't go away, because I got the high gloss. The shininess does not go away because, you know, it dries. It stays there, and it is crazy, and it makes the house look so ridiculously good. I'm very, very happy with it. So you got to make sure you hit all the spots and stuff like that. But like I said, teaching Mahmoud, worst thing ever. If he can do it, you can do it. So if you want to stay in your, I really, really, really push for people, instead of doing LVP over hardwoods and stuff, use the hardwoods. I mean, this is old. This is probably from like the 1950s or 60s. And like, this is just some, I mean, at least in the South, like, you have them in almost every house that's old. You have hardwood, and they always have put some kind of flooring over it, put carpet over it, whatever. And I always take the carpet out, take the flooring out, and I go back to the hardwoods, because again, these hardwoods are pretty much indestructible. They're very, very good. As long as you don't get water all over them, you'll be perfectly fine. And our new tradition for Mahmoud, you have these two guys, you know, Mahmoud obviously is not white. I am questionably white, but I'm not. And we just sit there and listen to Freebird while we're doing our floors, and pretty much we know how long it takes us because of how many times we listen to Freebird. I think we listened to it twice during this application. And since this, we've done, I think, like 3 or 4 more floors, and it has become like our literal tradition where he and I will, like, I'll just be like, hey, we're gonna stain today. And he's like, oh, or sorry, we're gonna polyurethane today. He goes, oh, cool, we're gonna listen to Freebird. Like, yeah, we're gonna listen to Freebird. And then actually I had my dad come out and polyurethane a floor with me one time, and he was like, why are we listening to Freebird? I'm like, just because that's what we listen to when we do this, and it tells us how long it's taken. And apparently he had some roommate in college that was like super rich back in the 80s and had a Firebird, and so of course that guy always wanted to listen to Freebird all the time, which, you know, is interesting. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of hello, Goodman. That is our little thing and our little tradition that we do with the polyurethane. So now we're coming back in for a second coat. It's been about 2 hours. I like how I look at the clock. I didn't look at the clock at the beginning, so how do we know how many hours it's been? But about 2 to 3-ish hours. Like, I'd pretty much just do it where this is the first thing I do in the beginning of the day, go do a bunch of other stuff, come back here around lunchtime or after lunch, and just get the rest of this job done, which is what we do everywhere. And it's not really hard to do. It's a very, very simple, easy process. And you could do it in your house. You really could. I mean, you can go rent a stainer. In my house, I actually, stainer. Sander is what I meant. But you can go rent a sander, like a belt sander. I did it actually at the house I live in, which is the house I'm sitting in right now. It has old hardwood floors from 1960. And so we belt sanded the whole thing down to like natural wood. And then I just put polyurethane on it. And I did a matte finish. I didn't do high gloss. I do high gloss in these houses just because it just pops so well. But I did a matte finish in ours, and I will say it's so nice. I love the hardwood floors in our house. We will be covering them up later on in life, unfortunately, because in bedrooms I like to have carpet. I really do. I like to have nice, in my house, when you have a Section 8 house or you have a renter house at all, a renting house at all, you obviously do not want to have any kind of carpet. Even though Goodman puts carpet, you say, you're such a hypocrite, Goodman, because you put carpet in your houses sometimes. I'm like, yes, because sometimes it's cheap. Roberto's really good at putting in carpet. So, I mean, like I said, it's just, you know, you can go back and forth either way, whatever. But anyway, so again, second coat, there's no staining, there's no nothing. I have my realtor on the phone right now calling me. Let me go talk to her and see if we're going to sell this house or not. Well, I just got off the phone with one of my realtors, and she is going to be submitting an offer to my other realtor for one of my houses, which has been sitting there with a Section 8 tenant in it, making $946 a month, and it won't sell. Does that make any sense? It's very interesting. Sometimes I don't understand investors whatsoever, but let's get back into the video. All right, so anyway, on the second coat, you can see we put the booties. I do that just because I don't want the footprints. We have dust on our feet, on our shoes and stuff like that, and I don't want to get it into the finish at the very end, obviously. At the beginning, I don't really care. To be honest, it doesn't really matter to me. So, yeah, anyway. So we get this in. Oh, golly. Anyway, go super heavy on the last coat, because, again, you're not going to be back in here. This stuff is also really slick. That's a problem. Make sure that when you're doing this, like, you actually are taking precautions of not slipping, because Mahmoud and I have literally almost fallen into the polyurethane. You see the gray? I love the gray tiles. So Roberto, I told him to fix the tiles around the fireplace. Instead of going and buying square tiles, he literally just took the tiles that I used for the backsplash of the kitchen and then just cut them and made them into squares. So good job on that, Roberto. Anyway, Tam's here because she's about to clean a bunch of the paint up that Roberto and his helper put all into this room, which has made me extremely mad. But like I said, a very successful day. This is the video right before we call for the Section 8 inspection, so now it will be called in. We'll be ready to go. The tenant is very happy and all that good stuff, so that is fantastic. And these floors look absolutely amazing. And again, there's some paint splotches. You can still see them. Like, I don't even sand that much off. Nowadays, I do. I put actual sandpaper on it and really end up taking a lot off. But anyway, this has been Goodman. I'm signing off. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you all for all the support. And again, you can pick up this hat nowhere because I will not sell it. Or maybe I will. I don't know. Just DM me and I'll sell you one. Okay? Be simple like that. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
This is Goodman back with another second.